Welcome into a beautiful Monday afternoon here in the blockchain basement. And folks, I made it. I did not die in tornadoes this weekend, thank goodness. But also, our bags didn't die. Altcoins actually looking pretty strong comparatively to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin looks like it might get ready for a big bounce up here in the short term, folks. We're going to take a look at all of this, plus some key metrics from the M2 money supply and what the heck's going on with the money supply out in China. So let's get into it. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and like the video to spread the message. Reports have been swirling about the US M2 money supply. It's increased by 3.9% year over year in January, the fastest pace in 30 months. The 11th straight month of money supply expansion, and the amount of US dollars in circulation now reaching $21.6 trillion. This is just $16 billion below the all-time high in 2022. And with this expansion of $2 trillion over just the last 2 months, this is the highest since September of 2024. It seems like markets are waking up and there's a lot of money being injected into the system from the Federal Reserve to backstop the ever-failing fiat currency. Now, a very important comparison to make here is between this M2 money supply graph I'm showing on the screen and the unrealized losses held by banks currently. Now, as you can see, this unrealized loss graph looks exponentially worse on the losses side for banks in our current day and age compared to the 2008 financial crisis, which is that little bump in the road right here. Going back to this graph, you can see that in 2020, we printed an exponential amount of capital to dig ourselves out of financial trenches that were already existing in 2019. So looking at this little blip on the unrealized losses ended up with this amount of money printing. I am a hillbilly, but I'm looking at this deep trench of max pain for banks, and I'm thinking that this graph is about to get a lot crazier. Now, on the M2 money supply, what does it mean for Bitcoin? On average, the Bitcoin price reacts 72 days after the M2 money supply increases. This means that the upswing that's already happened on the M2 money supply should, in theory, be hitting Bitcoin and risk assets and Wall Street on April 7th of 2025. And it is pretty obvious that M2 money supply directly affects Bitcoin and other markets in a delayed fashion. It is argued how long that time frame actually takes to play out. Here's from Colin Talks Crypto, and his opinion of the deepest correlation between M2 money supply and Bitcoin comes at about 107 days, bringing his time frame to the end of April. Now, there has been a lot of excitement recently over China's money supply graphs, but we do have to clarify some things on China's money supply. This is the M1, and this is the chart that is circulating. Here's from Crypto Beast, highlighting the China money supply is exploding, but there is some extreme nuance to this data. China, as we reported about 2 weeks ago, changed the way that they do their accounting for the money supply. Wonderfully highlighted with greater context on X, this is simply related to the new way of accounting in the People's Bank of China. It was implemented on January 2025 and added personal demand deposits and non-bank payment institutions. And even though things look scary as we sit here riding in the mid $80,000 range for Bitcoin, there is some important context to look at in the grander scheme of things here. That greater context is the 200-day moving average for Bitcoin's price in the entire market here. We have lost the 200-day moving average on the daily 2 times previously already in this bull market we're in. The first time was August of 2023, which did last for a little bit of time. This gave people about 57 days of incredible entry points before taking up and to the right. Then we hit our slowdown here in March of 2024 at the Nvidia conference and the overhype of everything, and the slowdown from losing this daily average lasted just about 75 days. So these windows of opportunity below the 200-day moving average in a generalized bull market are very short-lived. Our current situation, since we had lost this 200-day moving average in the recent history, has only lasted 19 days. If history rhymes/repeats, we got about another month or two of juicy entry points before things start to get disgusting to the upside again, and max pain once again is up only. And with all of this uncertainty in Bitcoin's price action, there is a momentary breath of relief for altcoins. The Bitcoin dominance is so far printing a red weekly candle, starting off looking pretty good for altcoins in general. Some of my favorite projects are up 30%, 12%, another 7% on Ondo, and it continues with Chainlink holding above $14 and bouncing off that $13 buy zone beautifully. Every time I see crypto Twitter move to these capitulation mindsets and it's over during a literal bull market makes me greedier than hell. The fear index is currently coming in right at around 20 on the fear overall, and this is an absolute blessing in terms of buying buying opportunity. We haven't had this literally ever this whole time of our bull market. The last time we saw this amount of paper hands and fear in the market was at an absolute cataclysm in the markets back here at the Terra Luna crash and the fallout, the beginning of the literal bear market in 2022. Now, seeing these extreme fear levels has got a lot of investors shooken out, thinking that the bull market's over. Well, this is the 4-year cycle overlaid with price, and as you can see, cycle over cycle. We have 518 days from the halving to the Pico top here in 2017. We have 546 days from that third halving to the Pico top in 2021, and we are only 320 days into this current market. If you extend this all the way on out to the average norm, this brings us to the bull market coming to its conclusion in November of this year, with plenty of time to run. And you pair this information with the Pi cycle top indicator. As you can see, the Pi cycle top indicator crosses perfectly at every single top that Bitcoin has historically had in the past. When it crosses, the purple and the green lines intersect. We zoom into where we're currently at, and we have plenty of room for Bitcoin to run and play around with in our current time frame. This doesn't mean it's up only forever, but this is a major opportunity that I'm taking massive advantage of, and I'm here to spread the information for you to make the best financial decision for yourself. Make sure to do your own research and make sure to keep up with every video that we do here on the Blockchain Basement. I'll see you on the next one.